Today on Crazy Car Projects,
we do a mad dash to Virginia and back. Well, at least I do.
what are we getting?
Well, that's more of... Well, it's your car, so you should describe what we're getting.
1999 Buick Century, I think you said?
I don't know. It's been Century, Skylark, Regal, LeSabre, Park Avenue.
We'll go with his description, which was a Century.
It's a Buick. We know that.
Yeah.
It's from the late 90s, and it has transmission issues. And I'm to drive it from Virginia back to Indiana. Yep. And the thing is, it's not the furthest I've ever driven a Buick with transmission issues.
Well, if this all works out, it won't be the furthest you've driven this Buick with transmission issues.
True. But, so, on this one,
yeah,
we do a mad trip starting at, well, we were about 11:13 at night after a full day of work. Lou's slept, so it's supposed to be rested. I'll drive until I get tired, and then we'll switch.
Yeah.
Then I work on a Buick tomorrow.
Yes, we'll see if we survive.
Tomorrow, that's 45 minutes.
This all started with an opportunity. My uncle was selling a 1999 Buick Century Custom for $400. Now this vehicle had over 200,000 miles on the odometer, as well as a slipping transmission. But Crazy Carl was confident. He said, "If you purchase the car, I'll drive it home for you." So, with his confidence in mind, we set out through the sleepy towns in Kentucky, West Virginia, on our way down to Virginia to pick up a vehicle that we would hope could be our future Lemons car. Really scenic view of our trip so far.
Yes, it was dark. Then it was dark and foggy. Now it's foggy. And I have failed to change out. I'm still driving.
Yeah, you were supposed to change out like 3 hours ago, but I'm not complaining.
Yeah. But scenic, the Smoky Mountains, living up to the Smoky Mountains.
Yep. Okay, I think we got this backwards.
I don't know. We made it.
We did make it, yes. This car already runs. You've seen Vice Grip Garage. You're supposed to start with a dead car. It's 5 feet in the ground and a tree growing out of it.
It runs, it drives. Transmissions for the most part.
Transmissions, kind of.
So, yeah, so should make it. But I have a lot of mountains between here and where we're going. So that should be interesting.
Yes.
Like I said, it is your car, so you should describe the car.
Okay. It is a 1999-ish Buick Century Custom. Open the door. Let's see when it was manufactured. That's probably about the best thing we can do.
I'm still amazed on the fact this is the neat purple that I remember from 1 year, so I think that is that time period.
Oh, we don't have a door placard. Okay, but...
we do. We just got to figure out which door is going to have it.
Probably the passenger door then. This hopefully will be our Lemons car. That's the intention. What we would like to do is show you the whole journey of taking this from $400, 200,000 mile plus car into being a Lemons racer. Is this something feasible anybody can do as a claim? Or is this going to be something that, you know, slightly out of range for most people?
Well, it's going to be my first rebuilding a transmission.
Yeah, we may end up doing that. So,
let's see.
What we were looking for, usually there's a door placard on the driver.
1999.
There we go, it's a 99. Usually there's a door placard on the driver's side door.
It's missing.
It is missing. It tells you what the tire pressure is supposed to be. It tells you the date of manufacture, where it was built at.
But there's a
all
bunch
that
of them
fun
on
stuff.
the car. I got it off of this one, which says where it was the California Acapella. So it's 1999 model year. 1999 model year.
There we go.
So
it's the BEA beautiful, massive, powerful 3100 engine. 3.1 liter.
V6.
V6 making negative 45 horsepower, negative 46.
I'm trying to remember. This year it was better. I had a 1990 Regal that had one of these, and it was spec'd at about 100. I want to say about 150.
Yeah.
And I think this model year was closer to 160.
Something like that.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So it moved. It moved that old Regal. That Regal I had pretty good. So.
Yeah, like I said, we're just using it as a Lemons. We're not trying to win the Lemons race here. We're trying to have fun. That's the key thing. Which,
and it's one of those we seem to be collecting Buicks.
Yes.
I'm just still amazed on this color. I've only seen this color a few times.
Oh yeah.
And it's sun bleached badly, but it was an interesting color in the fact that where it's sun bleached, you see the gold metallic flake big time. It was kind of a violet with blue gold metallic flake. But you can see in the doors a little more what it was like. But you can see what the color was. It's kind of a plum with gold flake.
That is a nice color combination. There.
Interesting color, and I think they only did it 1 year, so.
Yeah. But it's going to be about a $500 car. It's $400 is what we're spending on this right now.
It's well within the budget.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think you count things you have to do to get it race ready, right?
According to what I read, no. The things like roll cage is not going to be counted. The things like the racing seat that's not counted. The fire extinguisher, that's not going to be. Those things won't be counted towards the overall cost of the vehicle. Now, if we went and swapped an LS into this and shoved an LS into here, that would count towards the cost of the vehicle because, well, these things didn't come with an LS engine.
What about transmission clutch kit?
I don't think that counts either because that is a necessary repair for the.
Yeah, I know brakes didn't count, so that's where I was going to go on that. Yeah, that's going to be the big one.
Yeah.
And that's going to be interesting on its own.
But it's like, of course, go to their website. I'll put it up there somewhere or in the link below down somewhere or somewhere around there. It'll be up there.
If worse comes to worse, we do have a Sunfire with pretty much the same transmission. And it works.
He will kill you. You know that, right?
Well,
we will be planning your funeral service.
We can work it out so that Sunfire gets a new transmission.
Leave my Riata alone. Leave my Riata alone.
We're just going to do musical transmissions. All right, I was doing preliminary, taking fluids and all that stuff, and I figured I would check fuses since some of what the transmission is doing is not shifting properly. So I started under here. This is the transmission control fuse. It is popped. So I will try to replace that and see if that makes it shift better. I'm also going to buy a whole box of these 10 amps because if it is the controls in it having problems, it may continue popping fuses. But that may be why it's not wanting to shift down on its own.
No. That's not the way you do things on YouTube Mechanics. You're supposed to come out here, you're covered in grease. There's a stock footage of like fluid pouring everywhere, and then you say, "Oh, we rebuilt the transmission in this driveway in 3 hours. We had to fight with this thing. Oh boy."
Well, like I said, it's not going to completely fix it because there's a lot of miles on this transmission, but it may solve the shift problem.
Yes.
At least the shift problem, not necessarily the slip problem.
True.
Different issues. But otherwise, that may make my life easier, and may or may not charge the AC system. It is cool, but not cold, so probably a little low.
I say we could throw a can in it. We're not gonna like throw cans, multiple,
Yeah.
but a single can ain't gonna hurt nothing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put any of the,
No leak seal.
yeah, I wouldn't do the leak seal thing, because that just destroys AC system. But I'd like a can of the regular Freon.
And also, it's one of those things, the cruise control is not working. The cruise control fuse was fine. That can also disrupt the cruise control because the computer uses gear shifts to help control speed. And so if that's not working right, it disables the cruise control.
Let's take a look
It
here.
can also disable the traction. It's also maybe why the traction control light's on.
That was this red fuse.
Red fuse is pulled out
Yeah,
slightly.
and I'm just showing.
Yeah, the box there shows you.
Yep, there's the box, and we're gonna tilt it sideways for y'all so y'all can see. Here's the box.
Just in case you're missing it.
Yep. And there's a fuse, the red fuse right there, just so y'all can get a good glimpse of the
fuses
action.
Are behind the door and the dash over here on the passenger side.
Yep. And for those of you who are missing this piece and are literally just using this video for this shot right here, you are welcome. You can thank us with a thumbs up and a subscription. We would be much obliged.
Oh. So that's step one. This was my preliminary look through. This is the basics, and I found a few things. I've got to get a few fluids just so I have them. So, because there's a lot of nothing.
Yeah.
that I've got to pass through.
So, quick question for you, if you can answer this in 30 seconds or less. If I have this issue, a similar issue such as this, what do I start with? What is the basics as far as checking for something like this?
First thing I would do is check your fluid levels, transmission fluid levels, because if your transmission fluid is low, that can make the transmission do all kinds of weird stuff, make the car go in limp mode, so it won't shift or won't shift up or won't shift down. The next thing I would check is what I did. You look at your fuse control, all your fuses, and see there can be multiple fuses that control transmission, relay, and controls and sensors and stuff. Check them and see if any of them have popped. And then you'll need to recheck them, because if they've popped, they may have popped because something else has failed.
Now, I'm going to caveat off of that for the transmission fluid. Keep in mind, transmission fluid is not like engine oil. A lot of transmissions, as in 99.9% of them out there, require the transmission to be warm and running either in neutral or park or something before you can check it.
And it's going to be different with different makes of vehicle.
Yeah, so make sure you check your vehicle.
Sometimes, even with the same manufacturer, you have different procedures for different transmissions.
I only say that because I've seen somebody blow the seals on a transmission because they way overfilled it because they wasn't checking the fluid properly. That was a fun day.
They're not operating a camera either.
No, actually, no, it was not me. It was not me.
I know. I said they're not operating a camera either.
I know the situation. I know what happened due to extenuating circumstances, we will call it. I am not telling that story. It is not my story to tell.
Oh.
Okay, so what is next?
Next is going to be to, go get some fuses and get some fluids and a few other little things I didn't bring with me because I wasn't sure what I needed.
Okay.
And get out of the heat. Let's try to do this one-handed. Alrighty. Let's pull this old fuse, which I have loose. And put the new fuse in. It don't matter which way. There we go. And hopefully that makes it happier. And then I got to remember how to do. And we get it running, and I got some AC juice to help with the AC. Well, I still have a service engine soon light on, and doors open, of course. But the traction control light is out, so I have less lights on. The service engine soon light actually just may be wanting oil change reset, but so I've already made an improvement. The traction control light's not on anymore, so progress. Now I'm going to try to fix the AC on it so I don't have to worry about if it's raining. The engine started, running. Got the cap off. There. Fill. So you have to make sure you use the right coolant. See, that camera will catch there. Make sure you shake the can good.
All right, dinner guys here.
There you go.
I would sing the traditional joke of "Shake It Up, Baby," but I don't want us to get copyrighted. Because YouTube likes to copyright everything.
Everything. How about shake the boot?
That'll probably get copyrighted too.
Go. Now see if it takes some. Well, AC kicked on. It was happy about a little bit more.
Yeah.
Can's getting cold to hold. I think that's it. Might need another one.
Well, if we do, we do.
Oh, it's getting colder though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. A lot better. Oh, that feels good now. You'd say another one wouldn't hurt, but it feels good now.
I'll film you too.
Pick it all.
Okay.
Put your hand over in front of the center ones.
Oh, yeah, that feels a lot better. That feels a lot nicer.
That's at idle. The more you rev the engine, the better it's going to blow too.
Oh yeah. Well, about one more might not hurt, but
Yeah.
I got another one of those at my house you can have.
oh, nice.
Good.
There we go. So AC
Yep.
rejuiced.
And make sure you
Ish.
get the right stuff. You don't want the leak seal because it will kill your system. It will clog stuff up over time. So you're better off if you have a leak tracking it down and resealing.
Well, let's show it on the motor where you can see the type to get, because that's not the same type for every.
It's not, and this one, normally you have a sticker up in here or on the compressor. This one should be.
You know, I'm that guy. I like to show everything. Yeah,
It's
right here.
There it is.
It's right here on this one.
Yeah. R134A. I'm used to the older ones. They'd either be right next to the compressor, or they'd be over here.
I've seen them
I've
pinned
seen
under
them
the.
up here.
Yeah, I've seen them pinned under the hood
I've seen them
before.
on the door. I've seen them on the dashboard. I've seen them not on the dashboard, but on the back side of the glove box.
Yeah, I've seen them tattooed on the neighbor's kid's head. You know, they're in weird places. Okay, it is about ice cold already.
Yeah, it's going off nicely.
Yeah, I got this car from my uncle, and we're getting the other can of Freon from him. So awesome. So all in all, we are still less than $500 into this, and we got some clutch fluid stuff. We picked that up. We picked up some the non-slip. You have to forgive me.
Yeah,
I forget names.
What it is friction coefficient fluid for a limited slip.
That friction coefficient fluid for limited slip.
It's not. You don't really want to use it in your transmission, but if your transmission, the clutches are failing, it can get you home.
Yeah,
But that's really all it's going to do is get you home.
that is. Oh, hey, my transmission's about dead anyways.
That's I'm going to have to rebuild the transmission, and not sooner rather than later. Just get me home.
Yeah,
Okay, now which way do I go?
that way.
Okay.
So, and I'm just recording this right now just so you can see if it's doing the same thing it was doing before, and we're babying it right now.
Changing the fuse does not repair the clutches.
No, it does not repair the clutches at all.
It just shifted up good, so
Yeah, and that was the issue earlier. It wasn't shifting up. It wasn't upshifting.
it wasn't downshifting.
Or-
as you heard earlier, so.
Yeah, it wasn't downshifting. Pardon me. So we'll find out, and as soon as, and right there, he's right there. There's the GMC. I know, I'm teasing. I say names wrong.
Everybody else does that.
I say names wrong. Alrighty.
I have driven worse automatics.
Yeah.
I've actually driven worse manuals.
Yes, you have.
Hey, metal on metal, they're still clutch. Those springs are still catching the flywheel.
No, that's not the way that works, sir. That's not the way that's supposed to work anyway.
It got me home.
Yeah.
And the flywheel is made of hard. The flywheel in an old CJ7 is a lot harder than the metal they use in the clutch assembly.
One of y'all explain it to him. I give up. This is the point I give up. I've tried. AC is
Doing good.
Yeah.
It's still a little off, but not bad.
It is a lot better than blowing lukewarm air.
It's better than the truck's doing right now.
Oh yeah, your truck may need the same thing.
Oh, I know it does. I'm going to take in though, because the last time I tried to do something with a Ford compressor, the compressor locked up. So
you're not trusting yourself. I got you. Alrighty, so we're about to check on this thing, see how well it works. AC is now about ice cold.
Yeah, but the temperature gauge is climbing. Turn it off. It's dropping back down again. I need to check the electric fan. I think it popped the transmission fuse again, and I think I may have popped the fan fuse.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
But the AC's cold.
AC is ice cold. There's that fuse there, and traction control is back off again. So we probably just need to get a couple things going on that.
Yeah. I can up it 5 amps and see if that. I'm going to change it 10 once more because I got a bunch of 10s. If that doesn't do it, then I'll up it to a 15.
Yep.
Temperature went back down when the AC came on, so I don't think the electric fan engaged properly. And AC back on.
AC is back on.
It starts to climb again, so yeah, I'm going to have to check.
Yeah, and sorry about the weird camera angles. Him driving is more important than y'all seeing, because I don't want to die. So, I apologize about that. But, I think y'all can see that there. It's climbing back up there a little bit.
Yeah, it's not climbing fast.
No, but it shouldn't be climbing at all.
So, I'm going to work with that again.
Oh, yeah.
And, let's see. I got to leave it running because I got to see if the fan's running. The fan should be running.
Yeah. There. Right now we're just checking to see if the fan's running.
Yeah, that was running. Yeah, they're running. They're running, so it's not that. It may have just been unhappy. I'll add a little bit of extra coolant.
You got 10 seconds to explain what's wrong, and go.
AC's fixed. Cooling fans aren't engaging. So it's got to be one of the relays.
Okay. So we pulled those relays right there, 9, 10, and 12.
These are the 3 fan relays.
9, 10, and 12. These.
They go here. This one, you have the 3-pin one that went here. You have these 2-pin ones that went here. Well, I didn't bring my kit, so I can't really test them. So I guess we're just buying 3 relays. And that's the fuse. That's number 6. That's this one. That's the fuse relay for the fans.
All right, let me hold that.
And it's intact, but those connectors.
There we go. Now y'all can see that. See all that wonderful corrosion on there. Again, this is...
They're not horrible, but
yeah. This car's from '99, so I don't expect this thing to be brand new. It's not horrible, but, you know, every little bit of ounce of juice helps.
I'm going to clean it up a little bit and put it back in. Denim works through the file in a pinch.
If you don't care about your jeans, that is.
There, that's better. Good bit better than it was anyways.
Yep.
So put that back. And unfortunately, if I had my test relays, I would just test the relays, but now I'm going to have to go buy 3 relays.
Yep. So let's go get some relays. Okay, so while he's about to test, this guy felt like it's about to melt down. So we suspect this is the culprit. We got a new one of these as well, one of the fan relays. We wanted 2 new fan relays. However, we couldn't get one because the parts store ran out. So I got one fan moving over here.
And we got one. Yep, both fans are moving now. So now we have fans.
All right. Sweet.
Oh
Okay.
man, you can feel the air coming out. See, there was no air, now there's air.
Oh yeah. There we go.
I upped that to 15 amp. Not recommended, but it's one of those things that'll get you home when you have something popping. Just watch for smoke.
Yeah. Trying to talk them into putting the 10 amp back in since we got to get gas anyway.
Yeah, that took it off again.
Huh?
It's back to just serving engine and the fact the engines are on, the doors are open.
Yeah. And of course y'all know that this is blinking like that because of camera refresh rates and yada yada yada. Been sitting here about 3 to 5 minutes or so, not terribly long, but as you can see, the needle really isn't rising anymore. And the AC is kicking on killer max. So, yeah.
Beautiful. It's not one of my builds.
No. What'd you say this had in it?
It's a 302 Street Performer heads. Edelbrock Street Performer heads, Edelbrock intake and carb, roller rockers, roller cam.
Old start.
Yep. Well, working with carburetors. Yeah.
It's fun.
Oh yeah.
These
Wait.
like it. Nice.
What year make is this?
Oh shoot. Put me on the spot with Fords. I don't know my 60s Fords. Oh. Is it 67?
Nope. Keep guessing.
Huh?
Keep guessing.
Was I even close?
You weren't comfortable.
66?
Nope. Wrong way.
68?
Not quite.
69?
Yep.
I was in the right ballpark.
It's close. 69 Futura.
66s have the round tail lights. 67 was the first year of the square tail lights.
I grew up with Oldsmobiles and Pontiacs, and Grand Wagoneer Jeeps. And
69s have the big marker lights, but we deleted them, so that would have faked you out too.
I don't blame you on that. This is a gorgeous car. Supposed to be at a car show today that might be getting rained out right now.
Yeah, it's
In case you're not believing about the rain here.
It's soft seas on it.
It did storm that night. Hard enough that not only was the car show called off, but I kept looking outside the window expecting to see Noah floating by in his ark. But we did make it through, albeit with some minor flooding in the area, for Crazy Carl to set off on his adventure the next morning. He was going to be traveling over the West Virginia mountains and through the hills of Kentucky, a route that would take him over 600 miles before he could get the vehicle home with a bad transmission.
All right, starting off in the morning, getting a lot later start than I planned on because we had a lot of rain, a lot of storms. It's still raining pretty hard, but it got where it was light enough that the flood warnings ended, so I'm going to start heading out, see if I can get this thing home through the mountains, West Virginia, and dry out a little bit. Got good AC, get everything working, windshield wipers work, so all I can do is start off. Got some beautiful landscape. Google Maps has been attempting to, well, this is blurry as hell for some reason. Focus, there we go. Google Maps, for some reason, has been trying to take me the most horrible route possible. And if I don't click enough, it keeps changing my route, but I think I finally passed that. And now I'm on a pretty beautiful route and pretty good range. So you can see some beautiful views. And the weather's pretty. So pretty countryside in Virginia. But so far everything's doing pretty good. Struggles a little bit at low speed uphill, but once you're moving, it has no problem whatsoever. So, like I said, the biggest thing was for some reason it keeps trying to take me the most, I don't know, slow and uphill route possible. At least it was earlier. I think I'm on where it's going to be highway and freeway the rest of the way, so I should be in good shape now. Don't mind my soggy hat. Soggy, wet morning, night, but it looks like it's going to be a pretty rest of the drive. Well, made it to West Virginia. See a beautiful view here. But having some issues getting up to the mountain. Transmission got hot and actually boiled some transmission fluid out of the dipstick. So it's not low to the point where I can't drive it, but I'm going to have to buy some fluid. I put the friction coefficient stuff in it. I topped it off a little bit, and I'm going to stop next truck stop or whatever I can find and grab some fluid. So back on the road I go. So $50 worth of trans fluid later, I should be able to make it through. I filled it up, took 3 quarts to get it back up to the hash marks. It looks to be leaking from the fill neck where it goes in the transmission. I pushed it down, back in best I could, and kind of adjusted it. And yeah, hopefully I got 4 more quarts of transmission fluid. It took 3. and a quart of Lucas. Hopefully that'll be enough to get me home, or at least get me to Kentucky. So, yep, it keeps running. But I also got me one of these suckers to so I can use the radio instead of the Bluetooth speaker. So, see how that works. One great thing, the AC works fine, and it's not overheating sitting or from AC. It's just over transmission gets hot. When the transmission starts getting hot, that means fluid's gotten low. So I've got a cycle now. So I got a plan. All right, sorry about that. Fighting with everything. Absolutely beautiful. Been downslope, cooled the transmission off again. Now we're starting to go back up, and I'm going to be fighting it, heating up. So the biggest battle is just trying not to cook the transmission and enjoy the views. So, but yeah, you can watch it already starting back uphill, and it's starting to climb again. So, fun times. At least I have air conditioning, and the air conditioning is not affecting the temperature. That's all transmission. Just made it to the top of the grade. It's running because the engine's not overheating. Coolant's not blowing over. No problems there. You can see it's still got plenty of water, but the transmission is hot, hot, hot. I stopped at the top so I can have a downgrade to start up again and letting it cool off, because it was above. It wasn't red yet, but it was come on. It was up a little over that last top peg, so letting it cool back down. I'm going to check fluid levels again, top it off, try not to burn myself, try not to melt the transmission down. Fun times. Thank goodness for downgrade, because it's cooled the transmission off. I had to stop and let it cool, and I added a little bit more fluid, and now we're on a downslope grade, so I'm using engine braking and brakes and getting that temperature back down where it should be. So, yep, this transmission needs some major work, but otherwise, car's good. And some beautiful views. Absolutely beautiful views. Getting more downslope, so the transmission's doing good. Now, only had to pull over to the side once to let it cool down. So you got some beautiful views, some nice grade. So, try not to block it with that. But yep, so hopefully, since I'm already at the top, been to the top and working my way down, hopefully it'll be better. There's toll booths at some point. I'm just hoping they don't give me some trouble. So, just gonna keep going. Well, I've stopped in Kentucky. The fuse that keeps popping, I've got a 20 amp in there now instead of a 10 amp, and it's holding. It hadn't popped again. 15 amp popped, and so I have cruise control. The transmission seems to be stabilized, but not so much up and down hills, so it's not so overheating. I stopped at it just inside Kentucky, so it won't be more driving filming. But but it's doing good other than that. I'm just letting it cool down a little bit before I get back on. And top transmission fluid off again. It used about half a liter, half a quart. Maybe 2/3 of a quart from when I had to stop on the top of the mountain to getting out of West Virginia. So that's not too bad. Kind of used a cooling line to wedge the dipstick in, so it's not leaking so bad out of it. So just keep going. Well, made a home. The what should have been about a 10-hour trip took 14 and a half. But I made it. Car made it. It's shifting good. Everything's working. The clutches slipped, though, in every gear. So, it needs clutches. Yeah. Hello. And, so it still needs a good bit, but it made it.
Loud fuel pump.
Yeah. But it works, and it made it. So, hey, that's something. West Virginia was a challenge. Transmission, main thing with the transmission, just trying not to get overheated. They used 5 quarts of, 4 quarts of power steering fluid, 1 quart of Lucas, and 1 bottle of limited slip differential friction coefficient fluid, which has helped it didn't fix it really, but it did help the clutches grip better, and it's actually shifting through better because it is catching, so it's not getting stuck between gears, so it's shifting down properly now. So, well, that was it for this one. This was a long trip. I am tired. That was a long 3 days, and about 700 miles on it, I think. So, till next time, have a good one. Oh, and remember, like, share, and subscribe.